Today I wanted to show a quick and easy card project, and then it turned into something that wasn't quick and easy, and it made me realize something. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. I know that quick cards can be fun and we want to get in and we want to get out, but the thing is, most of the time when I'm creating, I'm enjoying the process, and however long it takes, it takes. Do you know what I mean? Even trying to create something quick and easy, things went wrong, I made mistakes, I had to start over, I had other ideas. So my message hopefully today is, if it takes you a while to do a card, you know what? Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the crafty time. Because that's what I'm going to do in this card project today, so stick around. It's coming up next. So here's a look at the products I'm going to use to create a very simple card that I need for a bridal shower. And I have this set. It's called CZ Design You Did. And part of it's a little cheeky and part of it's meant to be fun, but it's a kind of a general all-purpose wedding set, and we are in the season of nuptials. So today I'm going to make this very quick card. So I've got my stamps, I've got some inks, I've got a dark black ink that I'm going to use, a water brush, and I've got this really nice piece of watercolor paper from Hero Arts. This is beautiful watercolor cardstock. And so let's get started with adding some color to the panel. So I want to use this bouquet and this small greeting, "So happy for your new lives together." I love small greetings on cards, and that is the plan today. So all I'm going to do is squish, oh, there's hair in there. Well, there's always hair places. Cat hair, my hair, oh, I tell ya. I've got a little lilac, and I think I might skip the orchid for now. I pulled 4. If I want it, I think I'll add it back in. But all I'm going to do here is take my water brush, remove the hair, and I'm going to pick up I'm going to squeeze a little water to get it going on this brush. This is just the Tim Holtz detailer. And I'm going to pick up, swirl around, and I just want to make a little messy area on the panel, because this is what I'm going to stamp over. So nothing too heroic. I'm not even going to squeeze out the water here to get the blue out, because we're working with analogous colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel and also the rainbow. So just come down here, just kind of feel your inner Picasso. Make a little swoosh like that. I think that's pretty. And again, squeeze a little water in here to lighten it and bring in this sort of blurple color. Ooh, I do like this color so much. So you can paint with any of your dye inks that you have. They're very forgiving, and so any pad you have, you can just squish down and make a little area like that. And that is all I'm going to do for the panel. So I'm going to let this dry completely before I move on to stamping. Now you can facilitate with a heat tool, but I'm just going to let it dry naturally before I stamp. So my panel is dry. I probably let it sit for about 30 minutes while I went and basically did other things. And I've got my mini Misty here, and I'm just going to pop this in. There's a grip mat holding this down. I just want to make sure this is nice and even, because the paper, it's not really that warped actually. It looks pretty good. Now I've kind of had a change of heart here, because I actually think having the little clink and the little toasting glasses would actually be really cute. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the clink first. So I get this, nicely straight, and I want it to be right in here, but I want to double check that my little glasses would look good up there. Yep, that way they'll be coming out of the design a little. And so let's start. Now I am not sure here if I've used, I think I've used the clink, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm just going to run my little stamp conditioner over. Again, make sure this, my grip mat is not very sticky today, but I'm going to use this Altenew Obsidian Pigment ink. It is very dark. I am going to have to let it dry. You can't just immediately move on to the next task. So let's bring this down and press. I'm just going to hold the transfer, because I have never stamped on this watercolor paper. Oh, that looks good. All right, I'm going to do another pass. And again, I'm not pressing too hard because I don't want to squish. But doesn't that look good? Oh, yes. Okay. Beauty of the Misty. Transfer. Lovely. Now, I'm going to clean this really quickly. And also, I might, oh, actually that's wiping off really well. I will show you a little hot tip though. Sometimes pigment ink can stick to your stamp. And so I will use this Hero Art scrubber block and some stamp cleaner. Put it on your block and then scrub, because then it will really clean that pigment ink off of your stamp. All right. Let me get the next image. So now I'm gonna place the glasses. I love how this can kind of go right nestled above the clink with that little dip down. Let's hold you in place and pick you up. I have used this stamp before, so again, let's ink it up with the obsidian ink. And let's bring that down and transfer. Sometimes I really love the simplicity of some color and black ink over the top. You don't have to emboss, you just let it go, and you have a very sweet card with crisp ink. And that looks fantastic. Let me add one of the sub-greetings to this card, and that will be the front panel. I've changed my mind for the greeting underneath. I want it to say a toast to love. And I think putting it, well, actually, it looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty straight. I'm going to pick it up, but I do want to test it. I want to see if that is in the right place. So I'm just going to take my little piece of acetate and I'm actually going to do it, well, let's just do it in this ink. Tap and go like that. Lift it up. I think that looks really straight. Okay, then all I have to do is just wipe this off for next time. Okay, and I really don't want to overstamp this, so just a tap and a drop to keep it nice and not too inked. I think that looks so good. All right. I'm just going to make sure this is completely dry before I trim this down and pop it onto a note card. I decided I'm going to do one more thing before I cut, and I am going to trace a little piece of vellum, mostly around the black areas. And it will make sense in just a second because I want to spatter on a little silver, but I don't really want it to get, what is the word, onto the main area because I don't want to obliterate any of the type or the image. So I'm just creating a simple little see-through mask to kind of cover that up. And then I will go ahead and spatter on a little silver pigment. So we'll put this in our little spatter box and go like that. And I have this lovely aqua pigment from Brutus Monroe in sterling. You got to shake it up to get the pigment flowing through the liquid. I have a little paintbrush, just a number 2 round, very cheap, inexpensive brush. And I'm just going to put a little silver on here for a little shine. Pick this up with my brush and just put some on the card. And then when this dries, and I'm kind of doing it at an angle, I kind of love that look. Okay. And then when that dries, I will cut it down with one of my Gina K Designs Master Layout 2 dies. This has a little stitched edge, and then I've already cut out a silver matte layer to pick up the silver from this panel. Actually, I want to show you something that's kind of cool. Once you get your first little blobs down, you can go in and put a few in and around just by tapping down onto that area. So you mask some off, but you can dabble in a few that just aren't going to land on top of your words. I never thought to do that before. Kind of like that. That way the shine is going to go all the way through. Okay, now we'll let it dry. I'm going to take the stitched die and frame this out. And that's what I love about cutting after the fact, is you can center it perfectly around where you have your image. Now, a lot of times I cut into my mat, but I'm going to do this on the bottom plate because sometimes the ink transfers up and I hate it when I get it on my plates. That just happens with pigment ink. So I'm going to put my magnetic mat on top, and now I'll go ahead and run that through. Just want to show you, see how that transfers? That's the pigment ink takes so long to dry. And so I do this a lot. Then I will just take my wipe and wipe it off the black mat. And then it should go away and not transfer into anything else. Worst case scenario too, I can take a little spray alcohol and just really make sure that ink is cleared off. And it doesn't hurt my mat at all. You have to wait a while. These pigment inks, you know, and I stamped it 3 times. So, all right, let's move on and finish out this fun card. So I'll add my tape runner to the back of this cardstock panel. And also, if it's a little warped, this is going to help keep it nice and flat. And yes, I'm an over-teaser, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Then forgive my head if it gets in the way. I'm just going to mount this to have that lovely little silver border that will pick up the silver from the spatter. Isn't that cute? All right, I'll put some foam tape on the back of this, and I've got a piece of lilac cardstock from Concord and 9th, and I will create my top folding note card. So this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. We'll score right at 5 1/2. Then I can fold my panel down and give that a nice press. I'm going to stamp on the back of this as well. I uploaded my logo, and I'm going to put this right on the back to have that on the back. I've got some Ulta New foam tape on the back of my silver layer, and we're going to pop this down right onto our lilac note card. Right in the center with that lovely framing margin space. And you know what? Hang on a second. I just noticed it's off a little. And we will pop that down right onto the note card with that lovely framing margin space to finish the card. So I just noticed that a little strip of my metallic paper came off. I have never seen that happen before, but you know what I could probably do? I could probably take my paintbrush and I could take some more of this. Well, let's try it. It's worth trying. And just paint that right back onto the paper, let it dry, and I think it will be fine. It's just a little right along there. That's so odd. I've never had that happen, but I think this will be just fine. Just to fill in that little area so it does not look as sad and white. I don't even think you can really notice it that much. So that's a little hack to save the day. And that is the finished card project. Oh, maybe I'll put some shine on it too. Hold on. Okay, this isn't working for me. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a little hack. I'm going to put some of this on the back. You don't really want to be breathing it in, but it's going to loosen the adhesive on the foam squares, okay? And that way I can bend this, bend this, bend this, and eventually, oh, don't bend that. We're coming at it from the back because I don't want to do it from the front because I want to preserve my panel. Okay, so we're going to lift up like this. Okay, this is how you save a project. Lovely. Okay, And again, we're going to get these off too, just by putting a little on, like that, okay? And then again, hold tight, hold it down, and peel them off. Now this will dry, and the cardstock will be fine, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my Waffle Flower A2 Layers dies, and I'm going to go right inside. In fact, I better tape this down. I'm going to go right inside that stitch because we are going to salvage this if it kills us. Okay, taping you down, putting again my black mat on, and this time I'm going to add a metal shim for some more pressure, and I'm going to cut that out. All right, let's see if it cut. I think it did. Did it? Did we get through? We did. So we have salvaged this, and now I will put this on another layer of silver and hope that we don't repeat. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll just take the, oh, we're magnetizing here. Oh, Cathy. I'm going to take the next size up, cut silver, and then we're going to cut to the finished card. All right, I re-added a matte silver layer. This time I just used the Waffle Flower additional layers. Sometimes you got to improvise, and now I just have a slightly wider margin. I'm going to go ahead and put my favorite sequins on here. These are the Sparkle All the Way from This Calls for Confetti, and we will finish out the card. Just a little liquid glue here from Gina K. Boop. Boop. And add that in. Boop. Boop. And that is the finished card. So I have a lovely little clink, a toast to love, wedding card done. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.